I was going to teach you some artificial intelligence.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Google is in freak out mode right now.
You had a really cool model on how you prompt, and I wonder if you'd be willing to share that.
Yeah, can you show us a little skin?
Shows. ChatGPT is an intern.
Just like bringing a new person on your team.
I can have it all in my contact management system, and I can have introductory emails all within seconds.
This has been one of my favorite episodes, I have to say.
I knew it would be.
What?
Yeah.
You have captured some expertise in the hottest topic in commercial real estate right now.
Mm-hmm. You make me a little nervous. I like it.
The hottest topic in commercial real estate right now.
Mm-hmm. You make me a little nervous. I like it. It cut off. Hey, that was very. We were so close.
I was going to teach you some artificial intelligence.
Effectiveness and speed. I would highly recommend you taking a look at his course. It's really, really good.
Welcome to commercial.
I was going to teach you some.
It's still going. There we go. We got it off now. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Welcome to Commercially Speaking. I'm Timmy Barron, ADHD.
I'm Bo Barron, CCIM.
And this is Michael Hironimus, who's joining us for a second time to talk about AI. We are live, so I'm going to be trying to field as many questions as possible. If you have not seen Michael, that was just a taste of what we talked about before, which was pretty amazing. It looks like we are up and live on the other channels, which is good. But I'm Timmy Barron, ADHD. I'm an actor and comedian. Bo teaches me everything about commercial real estate investing, brokerage, and today we've got an expert in AI about what to look for in 2025 as far as AI and commercial real estate, which is super exciting. So, Bo, you any particular intros or anything you got?
Well, look,
yeah.
Michael Hironimus, he's been on here before, but like I know him because he's a 102 instructor with me. He was my mate at the table when we went through instructor training to become instructors, and we've just grown a great friendship and love teaching with him. Hopefully we'll get to do that again in 2025 somewhere, maybe like Louisville in November. But and it's so great to have him back on. But like Michael is,
so handsome.
He's a really smart guy. But he's a really smart guy, and he's figured out a lot of this AI stuff, and he's got this course we'll talk about later on that I've actually taken. I'm about to take again, and so man, I'm so excited that as we kick off 2025, our first live episode. In the middle of some stinking snowstorm.
I know. I didn't know if I'd be able to get here. It is snowing like crazy here in Kentucky. Yeah.
I'm wearing a coat because it's cold in here.
Or as Dad would say, colder than a well digger's butt.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Kentucky saying for sure.
It sure is.
We got Michael back on the show, and not only are we going to continue to talk about AI, and Michael, I'm excited to see what he's going to show us, but he's going to give us a little bit of a preview, pretty much more than anybody else I know. He's on the cutting edge of this, especially in the commercial real estate space. So I'm really interested to hear what we can expect from AI in commercial real estate in 2025. And so, yeah, Michael, welcome back, my friend.
You guys are too good to me. Thank you so much.
You know what live means. I'm going to be playing with some.
Although I do have a bone to pick with you because I understood that you took one of my sound bites from the last one and have been using it.
Yes.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I have it loaded up here. I forgot about that. That's all. Yeah, I wish I would have thought of that.
I went like, or something.
That's right. Let's see if I got. Yeah, here it is. Did you hear it on your end there?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks for reminding me that we got that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything actually.
All right.
Which one is it? This one?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
You can do that when I mess up on this one.
Yeah. So Michael, fill us in because last time we talked, the AI is moving fast. So
boy, is it.
bring us up to speed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing because I took some time off, right? You know, it was the holidays and everything, and my son was home from college, and you know, spending time with family, just like everybody does. You know, I was doing some of my regular work on, but you know, not really paying attention as much to the AI, which I almost feel is like a full-time job for me now to make
I
sure that I'm
bet.
staying up to on trends and everything like that. But so I took some time off, and gosh, I came back like in between Christmas and New Year's and just going through all my sources and everything. I was like, wow. It was like I had totally missed, you know, like a huge part of what's going on. And so I understand how people feel, right? If you're not looking at AI and you're not sort of keeping your finger on the pulse of it, it can be really intimidating, I think. And so I understand that, you know, as commercial real estate professionals, you're not really thinking about AI and the new tech that's coming out and the new, you know, case studies or implementations of it. You're thinking more about, you know, hey, can I close this deal, you know, to feed
Mm.
the family sort of thing. And so it does get a little overwhelming. I completely understand it. But there's been so much that has happened. In fact, you know, just even looking at that little promo that you did, you know, I was talking about Google. Well, today, you know, I was dissing on Google back then, and today I'm going to be singing their praises because they have come out with a number of tools that are not only amazing just in general, but have huge applications for commercial real estate. So I'm excited to roll those out.
All right, come on, let's go,
But
Google. Good job, Google.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Google has, yeah. Well,
Give-
you know, the other saying, you can't keep a good man down, sort of thing. You can't keep Google down. They've got just too many resources, too much money.
Mm.
And they've really, I think, come out swinging after, you know, it's this, I talked about it last time, I think, you know, it's this arms race, right? Where they're just constantly trying to outdo themselves between OpenAI, you know, Anthropic, which has Claude,
Mm.
Microsoft to a certain extent, and then of course, you know, Google. And Google has been just doing some great work. I mean, they're coming out with some really amazing things. And I think even Google and OpenAI right now are sort of the neck and neck. And I'll talk about what OpenAI has come out with, and also, you know, Google is just swinging hard.
Come
So
on.
it's really cool, and we're the benefactors, right? We get to benefit from a lot of this, and a lot of this is free. You don't need a subscription to anything to be able to use this stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
So,
All right, sweet.
All right.
so
So
I
where do
love
we
it. Yeah,
start?
Yeah, where do we start?
Hey, do this for me.
Yeah.
You,
yeah.
you just mentioned
Please.
like OpenAI and Google neck and neck, but
Yeah.
if you were to talk about who are the big players, like, and let's, I think you're going to do this naturally, but just for the benefit of our audience, let's confine this to what's really working in commercial real estate. What's effective in your opinion in commercial real estate? There is OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. Google
Yeah.
has what? Is that
They've got
Claude?
Gemini.
Gemini.
Gemini. I'll show you some other tools that they've rolled out too. But
Okay. Who are some of the other big players besides that?
well, Anthropic has Claude.
Okay.
Claude is great. They've been doing a lot of work. They just raised a huge new round of funding that they're going to be implementing. I think of Claude as almost the outsider a little bit now, where they're not, because their product is not connected to the internet, and so that gives it inherently some limitations. Um, but they have some amazing things that they're doing over there. I really like them for marketing copy, for, you know, just in terms of language, creating, you know, maybe flyer language or offering memorandum language, anything like that. I think Claude does a fantastic job of. Microsoft, to a certain extent, you know, they have their Copilot, and they've got, and then Apple's coming out with some of their new AI stuff. But really, a lot of them are piggybacking off of OpenAI's technology. It's really those four major ones that are, you know, at the forefront. There's a lot of other kind of smaller tools,
Yep.
smaller large language models. There's some in Europe like Mistral and so forth. But you know, in the U.S., those are the four main ones.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right, sweet.
yeah, and they're all rolling out brand new, you know, tools. It feels like almost daily, but definitely, you know, weekly, monthly. And so it's hard, right? It's hard to keep up with it. And even me putting these classes together, each class I have to go through each of, I got to go through basically the entire class and say, is this still relevant? Is this workflow still work? Because they're constantly just changing things and updating things. So that's why I have to make it almost like a full-time job to keep up on this stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Juggling all that plus doing your brokerage business.
Yeah.
How in the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
I guess it's utilizing
It's
AI to get enough efficiency.
it's
His real
almost out of
estate practice with
necessity.
it.
And now we're launching a new fund, and I've got some
Mhm.
other things in the tank. So it's just there's a lot going on. Thankfully, AI is here to hold my hand through it all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so nice, AI.
He's just got so many AI interns helping him out.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
All right,
Well,
great. So
that's
we've got
yeah,
a little bit of a live audience
yeah.
today, right? I
We
can't
do.
tell
We do.
what we have. I see Dylan's. Anywhere you're watching this online, if you'll use the comment section, we can see that here. And so Michael's going to share some things with us here in a minute, but we also, he's available to answer your questions. So we want to make this
Yeah.
as interactive as possible. And so if you're sitting there, you're watching this on whatever platform it's being live streamed on, use the comment section, ask some questions of Michael. We'll be watching that, and we'll get his take on what, and then yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. And if I don't know, I'll just make something up, or we'll ask AI what's going on.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
sweet.
All right.
So show us something cool, man.
Okay, well let me start with this. So let's start with OpenAI first, because they came out with the what's called the 12 Days of Christmas, which was, if OpenAI is really good at anything, Sam Altman's good at anything, they're really good at marketing themselves, right? And so they came out with this 12 Days of Christmas, which was just prior to Christmas. And they were rolling out each day. They were coming out with different tools or things that they were working on, right? And so they came out with some really cool stuff. One was Sora, which is their new video generation model. I don't know if you've had a chance to take a look at that, but I can quickly share that real quick.
Yeah, and it's like spell that when you say
Sora is Sora.
okay.
So if you go to Sora.com, and if you have a OpenAI account, you can create videos. And so I was doing one. I was messing around here. I just prompted a yellow lab driving a sports car because we got a yellow lab. But you can also go to some of the featured and some of the recents. So these are all things that people are making right now that are there, and you can obviously look at them, you can download them, you can like them, you can look at their prompts, which I think is really helpful, because I think a lot of times people don't understand, okay, well, where do I start, or get that imagination start to going. But and we can talk about this a little later, but I really feel that marketing is going to take a change. All I see still are commercial real estate agents that are, you got your static PDF, which is, your offering memorandum, your flyer, whatever. You got your static, everything. And so I think there's a real opportunity here to separate yourself. I show that in my course, but where you can make something that's so dynamic. There's so much information out there, and there's an opportunity to get this in the hands of your clients. Show them how the market. Show them all the information that they need to make a calculated and intelligent decision. There's such dynamic ways to do that now, where you don't have to have this, these same static PDFs that we're so used to. But anyway, Sora is the brand new video generation model. I really like it. There's a couple others that I use, Runway being another one of them. The evolution of this is just mind-boggling. I mean, it's becoming so good. I mean, some of these are just so realistic. It does sometimes have problems with human movement. For example, you know, if you look at some of these where there's real dynamic people moving around, you'll notice like extra legs and extra arms sort of come out of nowhere.
Okay.
But it's getting better and better every single time. And you know, just the video quality is amazing. And so just think about this from a marketing perspective, is that you can now create these, you know, real stylistic ways of presenting your property. And, you know, the sky's the limit. I mean, you could do things, for example, you could do just on the area, right? You know, if you're marketing a property in Sedona, you could do something like this, right? Where there's a cactus and a lady sitting there, and maybe you could overlay some audio explaining the area and so forth. I mean, you can really just become really immersive in how you explain your opportunity. And I think that's going to be a real shift coming up as well.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
What's your
So I'm thinking, I pulled up Sora. I'm kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
Signed in for the first time with my ChatGPT account, and I'm looking at all these things, which are cool. And it's unbelievable that like that plate of eggs isn't real.
Yeah. None of those people are real, right?
But
None of those
how?
people are there.
Okay, so like take me through how I'm actually going to generate a video that'll help me lease my vacant warehouse.
Yeah, I mean, you can upload a photo of your property and then have it take a video of it, so that it does like a drone video. It does like you know, one where I was playing with one where the doors open on, you know, it, and then it goes inside like an office, and then you know, you can see the office layout. There's a number of creative ways. Once again, just like the area, you could do like a presentation on the area using some you know, video generation. That's all, you know, creative. There's a number of ways to do it, really. I mean, it's just amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah, really
I
cool.
see we've got a question.
We do got a question. You ready for our first question?
Yeah, shoot away.
This is from Critical. That's a cool name.
Critical.
That's cool.
Yeah, critical thinking.
Oh,
But is that-
critical.
yeah, critical. Do you know who that is?
No,
I'm not sure.
How can we use it to lead generate? Do you see it on the screen? There? Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah. That's not.
I can do that
Critical
for
thinking.
a few people. Anyway, so yeah, Michael, how do we do it? How do we lead generate now?
Well, I mean, if we're just talking solely on Sora, I would think that would be a way where you could do some, you know how you do, and you're probably good at this, Timmy, doing some teasers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Showing
that
a
would
little
be
skin?
really, yeah, exactly. See, you're always wanting me to show skin. You know, these teaser sort of things where people, hey, I want more information about it. I think that would be a really great useful case for that, where you could create these videos that just kind of tease some things out and then start to get those leads, and people want more information. So, I mean, I'm just thinking off the cuff here, but
Yeah, gotcha. All right.
but I think that would be a good way to do it, and then have them, you know, go to a link and you've captured their info.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about a use case. Okay.
Yeah.
And let's say just from the brokerage side, I've got a vacant warehouse, right? So create a Sora video. I can actually upload some images of the warehouse. I could upload the plans of the warehouse and see what Sora creates. Okay. I then take that and like upload the video to, I don't know, Canva or something that'll allow me to put like text over it, kind of deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, say for more information, click here. Then, all right, and this kind of goes back to our last call or some of the other stuff I've seen you
Both
do.
getting all excited.
But then you click the link, it takes you to like a landing page where you have like the AI girl talking to them.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I see you want some more information on the vacant warehouse. Here's what you can do. Yeah, actually, and it's like it's the AI generated like person thing, like the blonde that I've seen you use on some of your stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of daisy chain some of these AI technologies together to bring in the leads.
I
for
know.
you,
Yeah,
you know?
that's That's a very creative way to think through it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
As opposed
like
to
it.
me sitting down, shooting the video of me talking
Right.
Yeah.
and having you edit it and
Right.
get it out. It's just get this
Yeah. Well,
AI fake
Yeah.
person to do it for
that's
me.
right. Do you know there's go ahead,
Go
Michael.
No, go ahead.
On what is it? It's an app called Captions that I use. And on that, you can take a video of yourself and it will create an avatar of you.
Yeah.
So then, whatever you want it to do or whatever video you want to make, you can make countless videos of yourself and never record another video after the initial one.
Yeah.
Right? If you like it.
Heygen, so Heygen is one, and then Synthesia, which is the one that I use, is the other one.
Synthesia.
And actually, the Synthesia videos are the ones that I use in my course. I have a lady who teaches you some things because I actually don't like to hear my own voice, and I also, I also think that it's cool to kind of break it up, right? Instead of seeing my face all the time, it's cool to see. And she's AI generated. You just put in exactly what you want her to say, and it AI generates in her, voice, her lips, everything moves in coordination with that. Those
That's
instructions.
crazy.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the AI video just in the past year and a half, it's just
Crazy. It's gotten so good.
yeah. No, there's
The
a lot of talk in our industry about. I mean, there's talks about like actors eventually being replaced,
Yeah.
and but now it seems like a really legit threat. So
I think so.
yeah,
I mean,
think
if
so too.
Tom Cruise can, say, okay, you can use my image, and for the next 100 years, he's always the same age, right? He's
Yeah.
always that age. It's like cartoons, right?
Mm,
Family Guy, Bart Simpson. They can go on forever because they never age.
that's
And
right.
the same thing can be for, eventually for real life actors, where they can, sort of
I
trademark
feel
themselves. And
I feel like they already did that with Paul Rudd. He's been the same age, and Morgan Freeman. They've been the same age for 30 years.
And
dude,
Sam
so
Elliott.
much.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like those guys have been
Sam Elliott.
50 years old my entire life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
But
if I like the idea of watching an AI generated version of an actor.
yeah,
Right. I mean,
Maybe you get used to it and it's just as good, but it seems like it would miss the soul of the
it would.
performance.
I mean, it would. The humanity is not there. You can tell when something is kind of off, right? Or AI generated.
at least at this point, you
At
can, I
this
guess.
point,
At
but like
this
at some
point,
point,
I don't think you're
AI
going to know
will
the
have
difference at some point. I think
Huh.
that's right around the corner, probably a year or two. You're not going to know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that was a
let's
lot of
bring it
time on Sora, and I thought that was just like one of those passing things, but that was cool. I
No,
like
that
that.
is cool. We do got another question.
Yeah, let's shoot.
Okay. This one's from Dylan. Which platform do you think is the best to focus on? This is a great question for an agent trying to streamline their business. Because it's cool. Because before I throw this up on the screen or finish this, I mean, there's so much.
Yeah.
There's
an
so much. So yeah, I think
overwhelming amount of options.
overwhelming amount. There's
get
so
it.
much that we can talk about. So I think this is a great question, Dylan, because to really focus down on where do we start? What's the first one? And in this case, for an agent that's wanting to streamline their business, I would like to become proficient in all of them, but time is limited, obviously. So,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah. What do you think,
Yeah,
Michael?
yeah.
Where would
No,
you start?
that's a great question, and I get that a lot actually. Okay, where do I start, right? And each of the tools has and they're all trying to kind of outdo each other, but I think each of the tools are starting to get into their own little niches, if you will. And it kind of depends on what it is you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And so this is what I've said to people. Look at and literally do this. Go to the office in the morning, and every time you have to do something, your regular stuff, write it down. Write it down. What you do, the minutia, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, the things that take up the most time. And think about how AI can help with those things. And so I would say if you're just starting with a blank slate, probably OpenAI ChatGPT would be the best to start with
Yeah.
because It's most widely accepted. It's got, tons of information out there. They have custom GPTs, which, the other ones are starting to copy, but you can fine tune the LLM to whatever it is that you want to do, right? And so you can make these custom GPTs to be experts in, we talked about this before, whether you want
Hmm.
it to be, financial analytics or market analytics or marketing expert or whatever it is. So that's a really good way to sort of get your feet wet. But I think if you just focus on ChatGPT, you might be missing out on some other things. For example, Perplexity, I think, is fantastic for search, just grabbing tons of information, and then using it in coordination with ChatGPT, right, to disseminate the information or drop it into, excuse me, like I said, a custom GPT. And so I'm hesitant to say just focus on this one because I think you might miss the boat. But if my hands are tied, I would say start with ChatGPT. It's $20 a month. Pay the $20. Forego a couple Starbucks lattes, and it pays for itself. And the amount of automations and time that it's going to save you is going to be worth the money anyway. So I think that's where you start. Perplexity I use for free, which is fantastic,
Mm.
and I think their free model is well worth it. I don't know if people who use the updated or paid version if they think it's worth it, but
Yeah, I remember Perplexity. I've been using that since our last talk. What were you going to say about it?
Well, there's people watching right now that didn't see the previous episode.
Right.
yeah,
Michael, can you share your screen?
yeah.
Let Let's give
Let me
them like
show
a
you.
trim.
Okay, let me show you something cool because we're gonna get into this anyway. So
Okay,
let me
great.
show you something cool. You guys want to see something cool?
I want to see something
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, let's show you something cool. So, talking about, and I'll get back to a lot of things to talk.
Oh no,
Um,
your audio's breaking up just a little bit.
is it? Is it all right?
It's like it was garbled when you started sharing your screen.
Right.
Oh, it is.
Mm.
Is it better now?
It is.
I think it is better. Yeah, it is better now.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay. Good.
way to go. Way to go. We had a little bit of a, yeah, but we're good.
Shh, never. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about Notebook LM, and I was talking about Google. They're coming out with some fantastic tools. Notebook LM is my new favorite go-to right now, and it has some huge applications for commercial real estate. So Notebook LM is a language model that is based off of their Gemini model,
I've seen
but
this.
it's tuned specifically for a few things. First off, it only uses the sources that you put in, so it doesn't take from outside sources. It is tuned so that there's less hallucinations, but also less creativity. So if you're really trying to be creative with something, this is not the model that you want to use. But in commercial real estate, we don't really want a lot of creativity sometimes. We really want the facts, just like Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am, right?
Hmm.
And so we just want the facts. And so that's where I think Notebook LLM has some huge applications for commercial real estate. And so what I did was, and this is bringing perplexity. I was going to come back to perplexity, don't worry. But what I was doing was, as I was creating this Los Angeles warehouse market data, and so just throwing it out there, I had a Moody's analytics report that I had pulled for the market data in
Okay.
LA warehouse. This is North LA. And so all I did was I said, okay, I want to understand the North LA warehouse market, right? And so what I did first was I went over to a good friends
Oh no. You're hearing
and
that too, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
what did I do? Oh, is
You,
it every time I open that tab or something? I wonder.
yeah, it kind of is.
It's sort of, but then it kind of goes well. But
Goes by. Okay. Well, hopefully you can hear me well. But what I did was I went in and I prompted it and I said, grab me some commercial real estate quarterly reports for the North Los Angeles warehouse. And just true to Perplexity, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically a web browser scraper. It goes in, it takes different sources and compiles them and summarizes them. So here was the answer, and it gives you an overview. For those of you who haven't used Perplexity, it's fantastic. Instead of Google, where you would go in and then it would give you a list of websites to go to, this actually gives you the answers and then cites the sources that it's pulling from. So what I did was I went to show all, which is right up here. So it tells you the sources. I went to show all, and these were all of the market reports that it was pulling from. And so there was one from NAI, there's one from Avison Young, and in Notebook, you can actually take the URL from the website and use that as a source, right? So a lot of these reports, summary on a lot of the data. I report, so I downloaded it, right?
Okay.
But you could use that as the source. And so in Perplexity, I just went down and I went through all of these. And then, so I got the CBRE report. I got the Newmark report. I got the Seville's report. I got the Kidder Matthews report. And so I compiled those, put them into a folder, right? So then what I did was I went over to Notebook LM. And Notebook LM, I added in all these sources. And so let me show you real quick. So all you got to do is go to notebooklm.google.com, right? And you can start creating your own. This is free. All you got to do is log in to your Google account if you have one, or create one. So once you're in, you just go to create new. Now, the one that I created, I called Los Angeles Warehouse Market Data, and I wanted to add sources. So you click on add sources, and this is where you can upload all your data. So there's a number of ways that you can upload data. You can do it by choosing a file, whether it's a PDF, text, audio, whatever it is. It doesn't do Doc or Excel, but there's a way, there's a workaround for that. I'll show you in a second. You can also connect it to your Google Drive. So if you've got documents on Google Drive, if you got a PowerPoint, Google Slides, you can connect those sources directly to it, which is nice because let's say, for example, you're constantly updating it on a Google Sheet, or you're working collaboratively.
Mm-hmm.
It will pull from that real-time data. So it's not static, right? Which I think is really useful in a lot of ways.
Interesting.
Here's the link. So you can once again upload a website if you want it to pull information from a website. It can take YouTube videos. So if you have a YouTube video link, drop it in here and it will pull down all the information from the YouTube video and use it as a source. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then this is the copy text. So this is where the workaround with Word doc, and if you don't want to PDF it, Word doc and Excel. What I did was on this one, on the report, I took the whole Moody's Analytics report, I copy and pasted the Excel file into this. And so that was the workaround for it. I think at some point, probably going to allow you to upload Excel files, but for right now, they don't. So you have to copy and paste it into the copied text portion of it. But it works fine when I did that. So anyway, from here.
So sorry to stop you. Hold that thought. I think the reason you're a little choppy when you're sharing a screen, it said, when I looked it up, the bandwidth, it just takes a lot of bandwidth when you're sharing the screen. So whatever other things you could close that you may have open.
I don't have anything else.
Really. Yeah, you don't have anything else. But it seems to happen when you're moving from tab to tab. So just be aware of that. Give it a second when you go over. But I'm hearing you good enough.
Yeah.
It's like it's fine. But yeah, all right. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
No. That's good. Good to know. So I'll save the good stuff for a second or two later. So anyway, once you get all this information up, and so here's the sources, and if I'm going to query it, it will tell you right here. So it's looking at these 7 sources that I've uploaded. If I don't want it to pull from a source, all I got to do is uncheck it, and you'll notice that it's now pulling from 6 sources, right? So I don't want it to do the report. I just want it to do these other market reports. And so that's great. So it's not taking any outside noise into this. It's only taking the data that I have right now, right here in these sources, which I think is fantastic. So now I can start typing in. And so, it gives you a little preview up here, which you can copy and paste. Now, what I can do is I can do a number of things with this. I can start talking with the data. So, and it gives you some good little prompts down here, like what factors influence LA warehouse market fluctuations. So let's just click on that and let's see what it says. And it'll take a second and it'll come back with something that is just based off of these PDF market data. Okay, so here it is. And many factors, fluctuations in market warehouse, retail sales, and it has the citations here. So you can always go back and look, and if you hover over the citations, it tells you exactly where that data comes from. Productivity, and it tells you citations.
I don't think I see what you're talking about. We've got the Los Angeles warehouse market on there, right?
Yeah, it looks like what you're sharing is frozen on our end. We still got like those 3 dots where it's thinking, but
well, let me stop it. Let me start again.
Okay.
I love that
I
we're
guess we
doing
have some
things that are
bandwidth issues.
tapping the bandwidth
Now,
of
can you see it?
Riverside.
That's right. Or his internet connection, really.
Yeah. You see
Not
it now?
yet. It's working on it.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Big shout out to Kevin as we're waiting. Commercially Speaking live stream. Let's go. Just tuning in on my way to an appointment. Thank you guys for all the good work that you put into this. Kevin, thank you so much for that. We've got another question coming up from Pablo Ochoa. That's a great name, Pablo. We got one coming up, which is a question that I had. So that's perfect. Shout out to Tara, who's in the stream. Critical thinking. We're still waiting on the live stream to come.
Okay.
Chris.v. Yeah, still waiting on the. Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting, if you're just joining us live, if you want to throw some questions at Michael and get his take on all things AI and commercial real estate, use the chat function or the comment section whatever platform you're watching this on, and we'll be able to lob that at Michael and see what he has to say.
That's right.
Okay.
But yeah, this doesn't seem to be.
That's not working. Oh man.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. It's
there
here.
It is. Okay.
It's here.
Got
It's
it.
here now?
Yep,
Okay,
yep, yep.
good.
All right.
Okay,
and
good.
yeah, I see what it came
All right.
up
Nobody
with.
move.
Okay, nobody moved. So you see my screen.
Now we can't hear Michael.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
No, we got
We heard. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Okay, so you hear my so you see my screen now.
Yeah,
And
we
we
got
hear
it.
you.
Okay, so I asked him what factors, affect Los Angeles warehouse market. And so I was talking about retail sales, and then it has the citation here, like I was mentioning. And so when you hover over the citations, it gives you all that information, right? Port activity, labor disruptions, behavior, new regulation, synopsis of what factors influence it, right? Now, this is fantastic because now what we can do is take this information and put it into other things, right? So there's over here on the right-hand side, if you can see, there's a study guide. This is great. So if you want to learn about anything, you can create a study guide to understand it, right? Great for folks who are trying to get their CCIM designation, right? There's an FAQ section, so you can actually create FAQs off of this data. There's a briefing doc. So if I click on the briefing doc, it's going to create this basically a whole brief on this information, which we can copy and paste and put into a report. Fantastic stuff. And then the last thing is a timeline. And the way I really like to use the timeline is, let's say you're using this for lease abstraction, which I think is one of the best ways to use Notebook LM.
Ooh, I can see that.
Is you drop in a whole bunch of leases. You go up to 50 50 sources on each of these. So, you got a property that's got 50 different leases. You can query from all of them. You put in timeline and it will break down all the lease abstracts, what's coming up. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing stuff. So this is a great way to organize and keep all of your leases together, which I've been doing.
Wow.
Okay, so hold on for just a second.
Yeah.
And we got a question on this too when you're done.
So we've got a property. Let's
Yeah.
say we've got a Tower Place strip center we have here in town. It's got I think 14 tenants in it, and I could create a notebook here, upload those 14 leases, have it. I could have it abstract each lease.
Yeah.
I could have it timeline the expirations, etc.
Totally.
And then that information it's not me uploading those leases to the world.
Nope.
Like, and I can come back to this and create other queries off that same data. So
Yep.
like once it's loaded
Yep.
in, you can just come back to it.
Yep. So
Ooh,
that's a good point.
Wow.
So if you do this, and let's test this out, what you do is you go add the note, and it'll or I'm sorry, not add note. You go here, save to note. See this at the bottom? You pin it. You have to pin it because if you go out and then you come back in, this output right here will go away. And the reason is exactly what you're talking about. Google does not hold this information. So as soon as it's gone, it's gone. So if you like an output, and like you said, the timeline you're talking about, save it to the note, and that way it's there all the time. But anyway, just gives it, and you could easily copy and paste this. 30 minutes to into your fire offering memorandum. It's just basic information.
All right, Michael.
The other thing,
your audio is getting so choppy.
Oh, it is.
That, like before, I thought it was good enough, but now I think it's going to be a problem for listeners.
Good.
So at this point,
Can you
I'd
hear
say
it now?
stop. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you have anything else to talk about on
I
what's
won't click on anything, but I'll show you from here. Okay. I won't click
great.
on anything.
Yeah, because we hear you good now.
Yeah. Okay. So up on this upper right is a audio overview. This is an amazing thing about it. And originally I thought it was kind of, oh, that's kind of cute, right? It creates a two-person podcast, a man and a woman, and they literally talk about the information in a very conversational way about the information that you just have here. Okay?
Whoa.
So think about it. It's just amazing to me. So think about that. You could learn anything that you want in a 20-minute podcast on the way to work. You can upload all of this, and I can learn while driving to work. I can download this podcast and then listen to it on the way to work and know everything that there is about the North LA warehouse market
Wow.
while I'm driving to work, right?
I had a student in one of my 102 courses.
Yeah.
I think it was the one. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't want to say it because it'll make Michael jealous. But
It wasn't in Hawaii, was it?
they created. It was Hawaii. They create. Yeah, sorry. They created a podcast using Notebook, and I'd never heard of Notebook before. So this is probably October, and put some information in about, I don't know, absorption or something like that. And it ended up being like a 5-minute podcast. But the man and the woman having the conversation about it, like it was unbelievable how real it felt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And what they were talking about was right.
Yeah. Wow.
I was,
Yeah.
oh.
A plus, A plus. If this was around when I was in college, instead of making videos for the projects that did not require videos but would get me an A plus anyway, you could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, college students here.
Think about it. It's not just commercial real estate. I mean, you can learn how to do anything. And if you pull down videos from YouTube, right? Pull down videos from YouTube, and it will basically summarize them, put them into a podcast for you so you can learn all about it. I mean, you could learn about AI, or you could learn about LM by, pulling down these sources of, how are people using it? What are creative ways? The sky's the limit, and you can do this with anything. So I posted this to my ex Twitter. If you want to listen to this particular interaction, you can go there and look at my feed. But it's amazing. And then they introduced this new what's called interactive mode. So you can call into the podcast and ask it a follow-up question on whatever they're talking about, and they'll change the conversation on the fly. It's mind-blowing.
That's
It's
phenomenal.
it's so cool.
That's
we gotta
phenomenal.
we gotta play around with that.
Yeah, we do. With the I just got a text from Tara just saying the choppiness is just kind of hard to listen to.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to.
Let me get back up.
Yeah, why don't you? Yeah, there we go. I think we're good with that. And if we need to, like, if you needed to hop off and back on, like to reset your Wi-Fi maybe or your internet, that may help. But before you do that, because I think we're fine when we're not sharing screens at the moment. Or, of course, I could share this. I can share screens because we are hooked directly into it. That was a new sound. It wasn't it was
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and capture that.
I'm gonna have to
later.
go back and
we can
capture
have a
that
whole
one.
soundboard of Michael Hironimus guttural noises.
Yeah. But we do got a question regarding Notebook, and I don't think you need to show anything right now. But from Chris V on YouTube, how many sources on average should we input to get the most out of it? I think it's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that depends on what you're trying, what you're researching. Like if it's market research, obviously the more the better. I would just be careful about what inputs you put in, right? If they're bad inputs, bad inputs lead to bad outputs, right?
Right.
So if you're doing a market, I would exhaust it as much as you can. If it's just lease analysis, just however many leases you have or addendums or anything you're uploading. But it can pull from one source, it can pull from 50 sources. It really doesn't matter. And if you have more sources, like, let's say you have a shopping mall, right? And they've got 200 leases. Well, you could break them up, into 50, 50, 50, 50 to get around that. But
Wow.
I'm just thinking about, obviously lease abstraction is the low hanging fruit on Notebook LM, but market research, obviously you can pull from a huge amount of data sources, city websites, news articles, to just really understand it, compile it, do it from the podcast version. Property valuations, just pulling, just a whole bunch of data and doing property valuations with it is, comps and, reports and everything to find out what's going on. I was writing down project development, you could track progress on it. That timeline is awesome for any type of project management that you do. If you're a brokerage manager and you want to break down things, timeline, that's fantastic. You can analyze budgets, you can assign tasks, generate client and tenant communications. You can do inquiries about lease terms, analyze tenant feedback, personalized communications. I mean, there's just so much to be able to do with that. I really am excited about Notebook LM and the applications for it. So.
I know it's incredible.
If I were thinking about just doing an overview, so I'm going to take what he's kind of shared and simplify it to what I could like see me going and doing right now.
Before you do that, can we use this time, Michael? Do you mind popping off, resetting your internet, and then coming back in?
Same link.
Yeah.
Yeah, same link. You just come back in, but like I think that will help.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just tiny bit choppy. And I think it's the bandwidth from what I see, and oftentimes resetting that's why we're plugged in directly. But do that. I'll look for you to come back in and.
And I might come back. I don't know. You guys,
please
come back.
Please do.
We're not finished.
And thanks to all the listeners for being patient. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you have Notebook LM. You can upload your own sources. So if I were to do a market analysis of some market, kind of like he was doing warehouses for North LA.
Right.
Let's say I want to do multifamily for St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
Okay. So there's some data sources that I know I can go grab. All right. So like he used Moody's. That's a great source. I love that. love that source. So I could go pull a market report on St. Louis as a whole or one of its submarkets for multifamily, upload that as a source. But the next thing that he did that I wanted to kind of emphasize, because I can see how valuable this is he went to Perplexity
Yeah.
and asked it to pull information for market analysis on multifamily for St. Louis, and it cites its sources. So you can go directly to the source, like, a CBRE or a JLL or a Colliers or somebody like that who actually has the report. You can use Perplexity to go find those reports because the sources that it gives you are the source code. You can go there, download them, and then upload. And now every time you upload a source to Notebook, you're essentially saying, I believe that source.
Yeah.
Like, I'm familiar with that big, massive real estate company. I know their research department is good, and go grab it, upload it as a source. And so you don't have to just trust that Perplexity is grabbing good sources.
Yeah.
You can see what it's going, go directly to the source, pull that report yourself, upload it to Notebook, and now you're really kind of cherry picking the best data sources.
Yeah.
So then the outputs you can really trust more.
Right.
And then once the sources are in there, you can query those sources only.
Right.
And ask it to do some of those really cool things, like some of the outputs that it can give.
Right.
Are really cool. I had no idea that was a thing.
That's so great.
Really, really cool.
Michael, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've got another Riverside tab open. Is that true, or have you closed that?
No, I closed that.
Okay, great. All good.
The good thing is that the audio will be all right because it
yeah, when we're not
records
live.
natively onto my.
That's
when we're not live. Yeah.
Yeah, this is for a very, very high, top tier live commercially speaking viewers.
Well, they're the best ones.
Yeah, they're the best ones and most important. We've got a couple questions. You sound a lot better now, Michael.
Good. Okay.
We got a couple questions. Is there anything else you wanted to go over that we were talking about before we jump into some more?
No. That I've got more to discuss, but I want to keep it interactive. So
Yeah.
Let's talk about these things.
Great. Well, we've got one. I think just about what we're talking about with Notebook and responses from Martin CRE Advisors. Can you personalize your voice in the audio overview?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think you can, but I don't know that. I can't say that 100%. That might be in the settings. I haven't played with that, but
yeah,
the only one I've heard is a man and a woman, and they're talking about it. But
yeah, and
maybe that's something that they roll out in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, because at some point, and I'm sure that exists. Like you can do that somewhere. Just like creating the avatar and captions. And that's not even like a main big AI app. There's utilizing it anyway.
Somebody creative like you might be able to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll find out for you, Martin. I'll find out, and then I'll let you know, Michael.
Thank you.
Okay, the other one that we got just a little while ago, which is this, I think is a great question. My question I had from Pablo. How do you create a custom GPT and make it an expert in market analytics?
Can I try this?
Can
I try the answer? No.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know that Michael knows, but I think using what we've just talked about, you could go get your own answer really quickly. So I might go to Perplexity and YouTube and say how to create a custom GPT on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And find a video or two and have Perplexity find me a couple sources, upload those into Notebook.
Do you want to share your screen and do it right now?
Oh man. That would be
would that be too long? Let's see if you can do it, Bo.
All right, let's see if I can.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it.
All right, so I'm gonna
hit share and then hit screen. Yeah. Okay. Because our bandwidth should be plenty. There we go. Okay.
So I thought I was in Notebook already.
We got Notebook right here. Welcome to Notebook LM. On your screen.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So create one, upload sources. If I go to
how to create
YouTube and say how to create a custom GPT in ChatGPT.
Yeah, so there you go.
And let's just pull this one.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can share,
Yeah, just
copy the
grab the link.
URL,
There you go.
Sweet.
put it in as a link, YouTube, insert. Oh, this is cool.
This is cool.
All right. And now I could add some more, but for the sake of time, it just already,
I'm
wait,
still
share
seeing
to
your,
tab. Yeah,
there
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
Okay. So how to create custom GPT. There's that link
Yeah.
to that YouTube video. I
Mhm.
could grab
Yep.
some other things and add it, but
Right.
here it gives me just the overview. And what
And
if I just asked, what were we going to say?
now I want you to do the generate the audio overview.
Okay.
You don't have to do that right away,
Well,
but
let's just go
It'll
ahead.
take a little bit, but yeah.
yeah.
All right. So if I say, what if I said, please create a bullet point step-by-step
Wow.
list. I'll just keep it really simple.
Amazing.
It is thinking.
Yeah. And then Michael,
Ooh,
can you?
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa, that was quick.
Look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
First, you need premium. Then go to this, then this, then this. Awesome.
Right. Right.
There it is.
Yep. Step by step. And yeah, like I said, if you hover over it, you get the citation where it is.
It's not giving me the citation. It's giving me the transcript of that part of the video.
Correct.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Amazing, right?
Yes.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That is.
Go back to
amazing.
Pablo's question,
Okay.
creating a custom GPT. You don't necessarily have to create a custom GPT on your own. Everybody has made custom GPTs out there. In fact, the one that I use was created by somebody else because they did a really good job on it.
Oh, good job.
And so I would just search and play around with some of the ones that have already been created. You can actually query the custom GPT and say, what were the instructions given to you to create yourself, or something along those lines.
Oh.
It will actually tell you, and then you can copy and paste that, go make your own custom GPT sort of.
Wow.
But they're already made out there, a lot of them, a lot of times. So I would search for them first.
Yeah, and you just go to Google or Perplexity and search market analytic GPT.
No. In Chat GPT. So
Okay.
yeah, in Chat GPT, go to search for GPTs, and then you can.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's made one. Like I have one that's my chef bot. We're always thinking about what we want for dinner, right? And I just put in some materials that we have in the house, and the recipes that I've been making lately have been really good. It just creates these out of thin air. So I say, oh, I've got chicken, I've got mushrooms, I've got coconut milk, and then all of a sudden it tells you, oh, you're making a Thai curry soup or something like that, and it's really good stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we've
And
got
somebody
another-
created that.
That's amazing. We got another notebook question
Yeah.
here from Timothy Sloat. Timothy.
Hello, Timothy.
Hello, Timothy. Is it showing up on my end?
There it is.
There it is. Okay, great. All right, from Timothy Sloat, can Notebook LM read, distill, and any usable data from charts, tables, graphics that appear in online documents? Example, market reports that Perplexity found.
So the images, it's not great on. It's really good on videos, PDFs, copy and pasting information in there. I think it's going to eventually evolve over time, where you can throw in graphs and charts and those sorts of things. It doesn't create those things yet. I think over time it probably evolved to be able to do those things, but for
Right.
right now, that's a no.
Because with AI, like it's kind of a new thing for it to recognize visuals rather than anything you could
Yeah.
transcribe, right? Or with
But this
words.
was the thing I was talking about earlier, where you don't necessarily want to pigeonhole yourself with one tool, right? You can take the outputs from Notebook LM, copy and paste those over in Chat GPT, and have Chat GPT create your graphs and your charts and all those things, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
you can take the outputs from one of them, transform it over to, to here, and then create whatever it is you want.
Now, I think Timothy's question though was, let's say I upload a market report that's full of graphs and a lot of the data is presented visually. If that's the case, can Notebook read it well? Or is that going to kind of be lost? Does it need to be more text?
Yeah, that's a
or
good question. I would have to play around with that. I don't
Okay.
know.
Cool.
I don't know that well.
That's
I
a
think
good
you just have
question.
to play around with it.
That's
Throw
right.
one in that's full of charts and graphs and see if it can distill it. I don't know.
That's right. Try it out, Timothy Sloat. Let us know what you think.
Get
You
us
do it
back.
right
Yeah,
now.
get back to us. I'd love
Yeah.
to hear that.
Hey, I've got that audio podcast now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out real quick.
If I play it, will it?
Yeah, because it should be going through here. Everything is
Let's-
going through there.
All right, let's see if this works.
Okay.
Hey there, all you deep divers. Today, we're going to be looking at custom GPTs.
Oh yeah,
I know a lot of you out there probably have been wondering about this.
definitely a hot topic.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
we are diving right in. Ever wished you could have like an AI that was like a total expert,
Mm-hmm.
but like only on one specific thing? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like you don't need it to know everything.
Yeah.
You just need it to be like a pro at,
Basically.
one particular thing.
Right.
Well,
Not
It's not sci-fi anymore.
anymore.
This is like the real
Oh
deal.
my gosh.
Fascinating, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys might be out of a job pretty soon, you know?
I know.
Yeah,
Make
I'm wondering the same
podcasts on
thing.
anything.
I'm also wondering, can we turn off the Valley Girl like stuff?
Well, that's
do
what the
like
other
how
guy was asking is can you change it? But I don't know. I don't know if you can, but that's the output that it has.
Right. Oh yeah, no, that's crazy. Because the other guy, I forget who it was that was asking.
But it's just amazing.
yeah,
I mean, you
right.
could do that with any. So you made one with ChatGPT. I made one with the North LA warehouse market.
Yeah.
You can make one, like I said, on baking techniques or, how to drive a Formula One race car. Whatever it is, you can learn about it and create a podcast and just learn about it. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Pablo
Amazing
said that's fascinating, and Timothy said exactly. Thanks, Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You've got more to show us.
I do. Wow, we've gone so far already, but
Well, look, we've been rolling for an hour
Yeah.
already.
That's crazy.
So-
no, it feels crazy at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So going back real quick to the OpenAI 12 Days of Christmas. So a lot of them were kind of dumb, but I think the other ones that were good were Canvas. So Canvas gives you an opportunity to have another screen next to it. So you know how you usually when you prompt and then you want to make an edit, it will make it'll give you the full output over again.
Yes.
Well, with Canvas, what it'll do is it has it side by side, and it will edit just how it is right there. And it's great because you can update, like, if you're trying to draft an email or a document or anything, it won't give you that whole, document back. You can actually highlight a certain portion of it and say, hey, just change this one word, and it'll change that one word right there. So Canvas is really cool. I play around with that. I've made some interactive HTML stuff just by querying ChatGPT. For example, let me see if I can pull this up real quick without messing up my audio. Hopefully, but I made.
The answer is no on the can you share without wrecking your audio.
Without my audio, is it already messed up?
Yeah, we're getting a little.
There it is. But like, get to where you're going, and let's see how it does.
Yes. It's an IRR calculator.
Oh yeah, IRR.
You see that?
Yes, we see it.
So I just made this by querying ChatGPT on their Canvas stuff. And I don't know how to code. I don't know how to create any of this. I just copy and pasted this. And I just created it. So you can put in the acquisition price, the number of years in your analysis, and it'll automatically drop down depending on how many years. How you want the increases. If I want to increase it by a percentage, I can put that in here, and then put all your cash flows, and then it'll calculate it down here. And it's just a simple IRR NPV calculator that I made that took me about literally 2 or 3 minutes just by making it. And then I, made the background and had the changes. But anyway, Canvas is fantastic for this kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah,
really
wow.
neat.
Like you would
It's
you would
really neat.
use that, right? Like you would.
Yeah, yeah, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can have it as a tab. So it's an HTML. So you can have it as a bookmark tab on your desktop. And so you just click on it, brings it up. You can quickly and I can get more creative. I haven't, but you can get more creative. You can almost turn it into a full DCF calculator if you wanted to. I mean, I just
Discounted
keep
cash
learning
flow
it.
calculator. Yeah.
DCF.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Got to be
You
careful with the
still do your
jargon.
quizzes? You still do your quizzes at the end?
Yeah, we
yeah,
do sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some episodes where it's like yes, but
Yeah.
not every single time. But yeah, especially when we got guests that are sharing stuff. And
So the other thing is projects. So before you would just have a list of all of your outputs in ChatGPT. Now you can create a project. So for example, the recipes that I make, right? I can put them into a recipe project, which is essentially like a folder. So that way you can keep track of all of your conversations. So that's a new thing that they rolled out.
wow,
One of the most exciting things, which came on the very last day, was their O3 model, and it doesn't mean a lot to us as commercial lay people, but the implications of it are going to be felt, I think, in the next year. So ChatGPT came out with their O1 model. I don't know if you've used it at all, but it's their reasoning model,
I haven't used it,
right?
but I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, yeah. So O1 is their reasoning model. So what it will do is it'll actually query itself. You put in, let's say you can make a business plan for, a brokerage, and it will think through. That's all you have to do is put that in. And it will start to query itself and think through, reason with itself, and eventually come up with an output that is really, really amazing. So anyway, they came out with, so there it is. And just put in create a business plan for a commercial real estate brokerage, right?
okay,
I just did that. It thought for a second and spit it out.
Yeah. And so you see that it's thinking, right? And what it is it's actually, it's an iterative process. It's querying itself. And so it goes through and it says, okay, well, what do we need? What are the things about a business plan that we need to know? Okay. And then what is particular to commercial real estate? It's thinking through all of these things. And so here's your brand new business plan for your new brokerage that you're going to open, right?
right,
O3 is this, but exponential. So O3 is going to have major implications we're already starting to see it, right, with AI, and it's becoming mainstream now, where we're seeing implications for it for robotics, right? We're seeing it for drug discoveries. We're seeing it for, you name it, commercial real estate, obviously. O3 is going to open new doors. It's got the highest benchmark computes that anybody has ever seen before. It is going
What
to
does that
unlock.
mean?
Well, so the way that it reasons with itself and the amount of information that it intakes and processes.
Oh, we lost you. We lost you.
He ran out of benchmarks.
Benchmarks, bandwidth.
Benchmark computing.
Oh, benchmark
Wasn't
computing.
that what he was talking about?
Right. Yeah, no, he just froze up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get him back. We'll get him back. But like, until he comes back, this is phenomenal. What it was so funny because it said thought about commercial real estate brokerage plan for 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It's like, that's all I get. Do I get a better product if I asked it to think about it for 10 seconds?
Right.
Create a business plan for creating, think for 10 seconds. See what it does.
Oh yeah. Okay. For commercial real estate brokerage, think for 10 seconds. Two, three, four. Oh. Plan for a few seconds.
Oh, so it does what it wants. See, this is the version of AI that ends up killing us.
Mission. Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
take orders, just does what it wants.
Right. Vision, mission, objections. Well, let's see how
Objectives.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go to this one, overview, mission statement, objectives. Yeah, but it just spit out something. It's just a little different.
Yep.
And pretty much give it. Oh, this is great. I'm going to ask it about Tisby. Wow. So is a lot of what he's talking about, you didn't take you've only taken his class once so far, right?
And I'm about to take it again.
You're about to take it again with all the updated stuff.
I'm about to take it again, and I'm assuming he's going to make it back.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he was going to share with people is the next iteration of his course, and that course is implementing AI in CRE.com.
Okay.
Implementing AI in CRE.com. His next course starts January 21st. It's essentially 6 weeks on Tuesday afternoons, 4 p.m. Central Time, and he shares with you what it is. Now, the first time I took the course, I think I was in the first iteration of his course.
Yeah.
And he would do he would share much like he was doing here, though without you and me interrupting him all the time.
Sure.
But it's on a Zoom call, and and then afterwards he would like send us, here's what we talked about. Here's the, like a cheat sheet of what we covered.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, it's on a legit, like, education platform, and all of the content of what he's going to cover is in there ahead of time, which gives you the opportunity to not start cold on each week's topic. But
oh, wow. Okay.
it goes over, see if I can pull the
We've got another question from Chris. Chris, we got you.
So it goes over Module 1 is Introduction to AI and Commercial Real Estate. Module 2 is AI-driven market analysis and investment strategies. Module 3 is AI models for investment analysis and site selection.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah. I'm a visual learner, so all you other ones, I got your back. I got your back. There we go. Okay.
So here's the course curriculum. Module 1, and then enhancing CRM automations with AI, which is a huge, and nobody who's a real salesperson likes CRMs. They're so valuable and you need one, but nobody likes actually interacting with it.
Sure.
So if you can get AI to start doing that stuff for you, awesome. Enhancing operational efficiencies with AI, and then AI-powered marketing strategies in CRE.
Yeah.
And so I'll just give you kind of a heads up. Here's the Module 6 introduction, and here's like all the stuff: enhancing property photos and floor plans, creating realistic renderings from floor plans, blah, 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 all this stuff. It's just preloaded in here. So it's a great course. And since is he not back?
No, check your phone just see if he's texting or if he needs the link again.
Yeah, I bet he lost internet or
Yeah.
something, or he'd be back on. But
We'll just have to have him back next week.
well, he's going to offer, this course is $799. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just telling you, it's well worth it. But our listeners get 10% off.
Oh, amazing.
And so when you log in, he was going to tell us what that code was, and he's not here.
Oh, no. Ah.
So try this. Try commercially speaking.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, try CS. But yeah, that's
10%
I don't know what happened to our guy.
That's all right.
Did we have another question?
We did. 10% off discount code.
And we'll put that in the show notes for this
Yeah.
episode, and I'll confirm that with him. So if here's what I would do. If you're listening to this, you go to register, the code doesn't work, come Monday, go to YouTube for this live episode. Can we add show notes to a live episode?
I think so. Yeah, I think I can edit that. We'll post it on X as well.
Yeah. And so we'll make sure, but let's try that CS, or just spell it out commercially speaking, see if that works. He might already have that set up, but I'm guessing that's what it was going to be.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll update all that for y'all, and if he comes back, we'll text him too and get that code for you if for some reason he doesn't make it back. But yeah, so from Chris V, in what circumstances would AI not be recommended to be used in CRE? Which I think this is
It's a good question.
yeah, and my immediate thought is like plagiarism, right? If you don't use, and I think that's like probably the most basic answer, but it's like going through, if you're gonna write something, or you say you're creating a blog and you use ChatGPT to help you create the blog. Don't just copy paste, right?
Yeah. There's an element of one. I would never use, like, let's just talk about ChatGPT. I would never use the output. Whatever you create or ask it to create, I would never use the output as is. I would always go through it and make it sound more like you.
Yeah.
Okay. I would never act like what it created, you created, which is not exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And so one of the ways, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, but my favorite way to feel very comfortable that I'm providing the raw material for what ChatGPT is creating is the interview method. And this is how I use it to create marketing copy for offering memorandums, is I ask it to interview me about the property until it has enough information to write the marketing copy for an offering memorandum. And it just starts answering me questions. And so all the raw material, all the data that it's using to create the marketing copy, I've given it in an interview.
Sure.
And it asks me one question at a time, and I'm giving it.
You ask it to ask you one question at a time.
Yes.
That's part of your prompt.
Remember that as part of the prompt. Otherwise, it gives you like the 10 questions or whatever.
Right.
And it feels like homework when you're working it out. But if you get one question at a time, it can adapt to the information that you're giving it.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels more like a conversation and less like work. So I use that interview method all the time when I want it to create something for me. For instance, I've had it create an agenda for a workshop, like a full day workshop on something I was going to teach. And so I had it ask me, okay, what topics did you want to cover? How long do you want this? How many breaks in the day? It asked me all these questions, and then it spit out the agenda, and I was like, ooh, that's about 80% there right off the bat. And then I'm saying, okay, ask me about this. I need you to tweak this. And we just iterate a little bit, and it's helping me create something, much like a calculator helps you do math.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm cheating when I use a calculator because I know my multiplication tables. And when it's asking, and it's helping me more efficiently and quickly create something, but I'm the raw material.
Right.
Right. So that's my favorite way to kind of get around the plagiarism. But back to his question though, what circumstance would AI not be recommended to be used in CRE? Anything that's like, I'm just thinking about maybe a lease negotiation.
Okay.
If I uploaded a lease draft and asked it to do something with the lease draft, I think you're really setting yourself up to get kicked in the teeth if you just take what it gives you back and send it off to the other side.
Yeah.
Like, don't review it. Don't make sure You know, like that way of using AI makes me really nervous. Or if I create, like, if I use Sora to create a video based on a warehouse image that I upload, like if it's not the exact, like if it's not so perfectly that warehouse, like I'm gonna put in the copy below the video AI generated representative image of the, like, I'm going to make sure
It's transparent about.
yeah, I'm just going to be
use
real
of AI.
honest about, hey, this is cool. This is what it looks like. And this is going to give you a great feel for this building, but this isn't the exact building. I don't want somebody to show up and think, oh, you hoodwinked me, or it's a bait and switch or something like that. So I'd be real careful in those areas. But otherwise, I think any part of our business in commercial real estate where we have systems and processes that we do,
Yeah.
like just the act of underwriting a property has a very specific flow to it.
Right.
And I think you can train AI to do it for you.
Right.
And anywhere that we're doing repetitive things, I think there's an application for AI to help us do it better and faster. So I don't know that anything else pops up in my mind about
Right.
where I shouldn't.
I know, like, other than
I
being
bet
transparent.
there's opinions, and I bet there are things I hadn't thought of that would be good answers to that. But
Right.
I
I
if you
can't
can
think-
think of anything, like, put it in the comments. You know,
Yeah.
I'd love to if I hadn't thought of something. But
Yeah. What do you all think? What do you all think? We do got a question coming in right now from Pablo. Pablo, if you are listening, because I know you're going into the meeting, the answer is yes. This will be on our YouTube.
Yep.
You know, as soon as we close this, and then we are going to publish it in a few weeks on our actual podcast, so you can get it on, you know, regularly scheduled programming. Is this going to be recorded and uploaded? I got it
Yep.
on the phone with the client while you guys were talking about Notebook. Yeah, and
Yep.
you should be able to even scroll back on the. You're not going to lose it. We're here.
But
We're
here's what I would say at this point. We've been live for about an hour and a half. I think it's probably time to wrap this up. And,
Sure.
And I've got something here in a minute. But here's my encouragement to whoever's watching or listening, especially as we're live. I would take a look at Michael's course, because if you think it was valuable to listen to him for the hour that we were having, like, imagine what you're going to get when you get the version of his expertise in a very thought out and laid out and planned curriculum. And it's not that he's just an academic, like, he is a CRE professional. He's using this stuff in these ways in his own business. And so I'd encourage you to head over there. And again, try to use the implementing AI in CRE.com. Yep. And then when you sign up,
He's back.
is he back?
Here he is. Or he's there. Look, he's on his phone.
All right.
Yay.
Did you crash your computer or what?
The internet out if it's an outage or what.
I figured it had to be
Oh.
something like that. Okay, so look, here's where we are. We were just shutting it down. Okay, so this was perfect timing. I have been telling people to go check out your course. I took them through the curriculum, the 6 modules, showed them what those all were all about. But they get, because they're listeners of ours, they get a 10% discount that you've been gracious enough to share with us. But what's the code? I need the code. Did we lose him again?
He's there. His internet's really trying. His internet is trying. You can put it in the chat too.
I was suggesting that it would be commercially speaking or just CS,
Yes.
kind of guessing, but
Thanks for being patient with us, listeners.
mm-hmm.
Do you put it in the chat?
I don't see it. Oh, he texted me.
Oh, he did.
Trying to hop back on the internet. Okay, let me ask
Yeah,
you.
he's so handsome, Michael.
Mhm.
At least we can see your handsome face. And we should, yeah, let's talk to him and see if we can do this again
Okay.
soon.
Yeah.
do this again because I guess he's got internet outages. Where's he located? Oregon? Portland
area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if they're getting a lot of snow up there. I don't know. I don't know. Cool. We're waiting to get that code, y'all.
CS Pod.
CS Pod.
CS Pod. Okay. Perfect. So we'll make sure that goes out in the show notes and
then that is so. Once again, you go to. I'll put it on here right now. Edit text and the discount, and that's for 10% off. You said
yes.
Okay. Discount code for 10% off.
Mm-hmm. CS Pod.
Off code is CS Pod. Boop. There we go.
All right.
So there it is, y'all.
Good to go.
Go take it. Bo's taking it. He's taking it again.
Yeah.
We were a little choppy. Hey, it's live. It's live, y'all. So all of y'all that were here, thanks. I hope you can. I mean, you can. It's clear to see, no matter how choppy it was, his level of expertise and what he has created with the help of AI to teach us all about AI and just these creative and cool ways to think about it. Specifically for commercial real estate, it's evident.
And I will tell you, I'm not going to be the guy that stays up to date on all this stuff. Like I need someone in between me and the technology to really help me out.
Yeah.
And Michael is that somebody when it comes to this for me. And so, yeah, go check him out. He's also a great follow on Twitter or X because he's saying, hey, this is what I just did on this thing. And he kind of shows you the prompt and the output and stuff like that. So he's a really good follow on X. And
what's his handle? Michael.
It is Mike.
Yep.
_ Hironimus. So MIKE_HIRONIMUS. Mike _ Hironimus. I've never, ever heard anybody call him Mike before, but whatever.
Michael Hironimus was probably taken.
Probably.
When you go to do the handles.
Yeah,
so there it is right there. Mike _ Hironimus. He's a great follow-up. So yeah, and there's the there it is. Implementing AI and CRE. So everybody, thanks for asking your questions. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
We always love doing a live. And again, thanks for being patient. Any other words on this?
Hey, I would just say, if you haven't already, go over to subscribe.wgbarron.com and join our weekly newsletter. Every Thursday, we send out a newsletter that has an episode of the podcast and just some other great content that we curate on things like commercial real estate, negotiations, culture, leadership, some stuff. It's like a quick 5-minute read, kind of scan through, but it's a way for you to stay connected with us, which we appreciate and enjoy, and just try to continue to give you some good content to consider.
That's
in the middle of your week.
That's right. And we are on all social media platforms at Commercially Speaking. On X, we are ComSpeak Pod. Follow us on those. We interact. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, if you haven't already subscribed, ding that little bell on YouTube. That helps us out a great deal. Any comments, any shares, again, helps us out. And on Apple Podcasts, if you leave us a review, we will read it out at the end of this. So thanks for tuning in for our first live of 2025.
Yeah.
And we'll see you every Monday on via the podcast.
That's right.
Right.
All
Love you,
right.
brother.
Love you, man.
Bye, Alice.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Alice.